all I know is that all of us was around the table and we were always eating breakfast together.
Pretty big table.
I don't know, but we just had the best time.
Yeah, I remember when I was little, I remember it being like a bowl of oatmeal, and I just remember that big, humongous table that was in the
But at the time, y'all sat in the dining room.
Yeah, in the dining room. Yeah.
But when we were coming up, we ate in the kitchen.
Oh, y'all ate in the kitchen. Oh.
Yeah, dining room was only for Sunday dinners.
Okay.
We always spent Sunday dinners together. Again, I don't know how we ate it all. All I knew is my granddaddy was cooking. I don't know who all else was in the kitchen cooking. But I never knew that my grandmother could cook. Because the only one that I knew how to cook was my grandfather. Okay, that's all I knew. I learned how to fight. My aunts and my cousin told me no matter what, we are to back each other up. They taught me how to fight. They say even if I couldn't fight with my fist, you find a stick, you find a brick, whatever, you knock somebody out. To me, that was the best time. I just had a nice neighborhood. Across the street was the delicatessens. We always over there go and get some. Oh, the best thing was the sour pickles. And then we could get the peppermints and we put them in the sour pickles and we just suck them. My lips would just be white for days. Getting sodas, knee-high drinks, knee-high grapes or knee-high orange. Oh man, we just had the best of times. Neighbors, everybody. The houses was connected, so you always got to meet your neighbors. And I just don't remember ever having a bad time at my grandparents' house. The one time that I knew that my grandmother could cook is my mother got sick. And my father said, okay, your grandmother's gonna come over here and help take care of y'all. And I said, for what reason? She can't cook. And my mother said, yes, she can. She can cook. I said, no, she can't. So I don't know why you're asking her to come over here. You're about to be granddaddy. But anyway, my grandmother proved me wrong. She could cook. She could get down. She really did get down and she could cook. So that was the best times that I had, and that was every summer. Until we got to the point, for some reason, we just stopped having Sunday dinners. I don't know, it was because we got older. It came to a time where I had to have a babysitter, and my grandparents took care of my children. And I was paying my grandmother the same amount of money that I was paying my babysitters. And my grandmother got upset and asked me why was I giving her all that money. It bothered my grandmother, but it didn't bother my grandfather. So what my grandfather used to do, he said, okay, Paul, you're on your way. He used to call me at work. Can you stop at the liquor store, give me my Camel cigarettes? And everybody knew who Granddaddy was, and he smoked them Camel cigarettes. No filters whatsoever. No filters whatsoever. And I would say, okay, Granddad, I'm on my way. I'll be there sometime. I'm getting there. And then, of course, when you get there, you got to have dinner. Can't pick up no children and leave. You got to have dinner. So we ate there I ate there just about every day. So that was a known fact, which I was nothing like that cooking. Anytime I ain't had to go home and cook, I was okay with that. But they had so much love. They might not have had money or anything like that, or go out their way to do anything like that. But if you wanted to have a serious conversation, you could go with them and have a serious conversation. If you want to learn how to cook something, I will call and ask. The first time I wanted to learn how to cook chitlins, because the first year my mother always cooked. She had to have her pork. So I was going to surprise my mother one year with cooking some chitlins. So I called my granddaddy and I said, okay, Granddad, what I do? Oh man, that was the terriblest job to ever cook some chitlins. So I said, okay, Granddaddy, when I come over, I'm going to bring you some of my chitlins. He said, what did you do to them? You cleaned them too much. I said, oh no, I just kept pulling that stuff, the membranes off. I was just going to clean them. He said, I think you took the taste away. I don't know, they tasted okay to me at the time. My grandfather taught us how to paint. He taught us how to do wallpaper where you couldn't even see a seam. He taught us how to paint. He says a painter, you know when you're a painter, when you get no paint on yourself. That's a painter. So as far as I'm concerned, my grandfather was a chef. He was a painter. He was a disciplinarian, like you would not believe. Getting to my aunts, oh my God.
What do you remember about Mildred? I mean, other than her pinching your arm.
Oh, my Aunt Mildred, oh gosh, she was just such a loving person. We would go to her house and we would just have so much fun. You better not disrespect her. That was never a given. You never disrespected anybody. You never talked back. That was not allowed. And if you did talk back, man, I don't know how many beatings I was going to get. So it was a rule. You better not say anything out your mouth if you did not want to. Well, you better thought about it first before, you know. Like I said, Aunt Mildred, she didn't spank you, but those pinches, man, when you get somebody to pinch the fat of your arm and twist it, that hurt. I'd rather take a beating on that one. So whatever she told us to do, we did it. No questions asked. The one thing I remember about Aunt Mildred when I was going to my grandmother's house, they used to watch the soap operas. I didn't know what soap opera was. All I remember, nobody could be in the house. So one day I decided I want to be slick. So everybody was out. We were all outside. Everybody outside. I'm going to sit in. I'm going to see what these soap operas are about. Well, my grandparents had these doors that you shut, right? So only the adults could watch the soap operas. I'm trying to sneak in to see what a soap opera was. Aunt Mildred got a hold of me and got a hold of my arm. You better believe I ran. I was running outside. So I never found out what a soap opera was back then. You know.
We did when we was young, you knew what a soap opera was.
So I didn't know what it was back then. Yeah, I didn't know what it was back then. All I know is that we were protected and we were not going to see it as children. So my aunts were a very important part of my life. I had aunts who took care of me. Aunt Joyce, yeah, she did my hair.
Been on hair for a while.
Yeah, she used to come up. She used to do my hair. We always look good no matter what. None of us were ever raggedy going out the house. I don't even remember if we were poor or not. All I know is that we were well taken care of.
What do you remember? Let's see. That's about Uncle Sonny.
Man, let me tell you, Uncle Sonny. That man could cook, and him and my daddy could cheat at some cards. And my grandfather, they used to talk to stuff. Now, I remember us having rent parties. Nobody ever went short on money. Or if you needed money for rent, there was a rent party always coming up. I mean, food galore, people come in the house, you pay for your drinks, you pay for your plate of food, you paid for if you wanted to play a card game. Each card game was a cost. Each hand was a cost. Uncle Sonny used to get out on the grill. And if my father went fishing, man, you better believe we had some stuffed fish back there with crab meat and shrimp. You know, it was fantastic. We always had ribs, fried chicken. The first time my grandfather told me how to make a cake from scratch. And I hadn't even iced the cake. My Uncle Sonny came in and said, man, this is the best cornbread I ever had. And it was supposed to have been a cake now, but they tore it up. They tore it up. So,
it was funny. I remember that myself. That was that guy.
I mean, but if you wanted to taste something good, a cookout time, Uncle Sonny and my grandfather could get down and cook. I mean, the best tasting food around. Another thing my grandparents didn't allow, you could never argue among yourselves. It was never allowed. You had to get along with each other. If you had a problem with it, and there was never any jealousy, because we all having a good time. That I can remember. If there was jealousy, I ain't know anything about it.
So basically, the way their household was, they didn't let their kids know basically the adult stuff. You didn't know whether you had money or didn't. You didn't know where the food came from. You didn't know the clothes. You just know you had.
We just always had. We just always had, as far as I know. I don't know the difference from not having or having. All I knew is that when we went out the house, we represented them when we went out. So you better not do nothing bad. We all went to the movies together. We all went, I can't even remember the school that was in the neighborhood that we went there for during the summer. You know, go across the street to the school. We just enjoyed ourselves. No, this is when we would stay with grandma during the summer. You know, you always went somewhere to, have that quality time. You know, when we were out the house. And we didn't know anything else. All we knew is how to have fun. And that was the main thing, is growing up and just having fun. And when you're having fun with all your cousins, another thing, I am the second oldest granddaughter. Marie is the first granddaughter. I'm the second granddaughter. It was so many boys in between though. But like I said, they protected us. They let nothing happen to us. If you saw anything bad in the neighborhood, they would just block our views or whatever the case may be. So, my grandfather by myself. Ooh. I got all my cooking from him and my mother. Matter of fact, I found out he taught my mother how to cook. And the painting part, because my mother every now and then would have to change the wallpaper at the house. I think that was every other year. And then on top of that, she always wanted a room painted. And my grandfather would come up and he said, okay, Paul, I'm going to show you how to paint. And I'm going to show you how to lay this wallpaper. And I was right there learning with him. Believe me, I was no painter, because I had paint everywhere. All in my hair, all over my clothes, all over my shoes. But you better believe he'd show me how to clean up with that turpentine. So yeah. That's the way we did it. So he showed me how to clean it up and everything. So yeah, my grandfather, man, it was the best time.
Base paints back then, so turpentine. The only thing they can get that, no water base.
Yeah, and we walked everywhere. I don't remember taking a bus anywhere. Even going down to the monument looking at the fireworks, we walked. Man, that was a long walk. My Uncle Joe had to carry me on his back to take me back home. Everybody else was having grand time. I was just pitiful little girl. That was the best time I had with Uncle Joe. When he was older than me back then. So I think he was a teenager back then. So he was doing teenage things. So he didn't hang around us that much, but he didn't play either. He didn't play either. He wanted to go somewhere. Okay, y'all want to go here? Come on, let's get together. Let's walk. We gonna walk. We're gonna walk it. I go, okay, we're gonna walk it. But yeah, I can't see anything bad about my aunts or my uncles at all. My Aunt Lola taught me how to write my name. My Aunt Barbara, oh my gosh, she's just so sweet. She used to come up and fix us food and tell us how to do things. You better not do this, you better not do that. She was just so loving. The one thing, I remember having Uncle Joe's wedding, and then we had the reception at my mother's house, my parents' house afterwards. We just had a party and good time all the time. Yeah, but I think it seemed like we had a party every weekend for some kind of reason. There was always a cookout. There was always something going on.
Little kid being in the basement, down there playing cards.
Yes.
Always playing cards. Uncle Sonny always walking to the back.
Oh, they were cheap. I mean, they used to play bid whist.
Oh yeah. That's why I learned how to play bid whist now.
And playing bid whist, they would cheat so bad. They go, oh man. You know.
Oh yeah. I remember the signals.
and then somebody go, I ain't got none of that.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I stopped by the grave site the other day. Man, I ain't got none of that either. Yeah, man. You know, yeah, I got some of them, but that's what I'm coming in. Five uptown hearts. Man, why you go uptown? You should have went downtown. You know, they were just so funny. But there was one card game that my father and grandmother played that I never understood. I can't even remember the name of the card game. And they didn't want to teach us. It was just them who was playing. And I just felt like, man, I wish I had learned it or found out the name of the card game, because it was just two of them playing, or granddaddy would sometimes play. You didn't argue, just like if we play right now with my aunts or with my cousins or whatever. If we play right now, we know how to talk mess. If you don't know how to do anything, you know how to talk mess. Now we get mad. I mean, you could throw down the card, man, why are you being you know, something like that, but you know, it never went too far. So learning bid whist and all that, I learned from, of course, my father and Uncle Sonny.
Great granddad boys, you know, them down there playing cards.
Yes, always playing cards.
Down there just watching. What you do? Low, high, low, no.
Yeah, they would bid some stuff. And don't get them caught up. Don't get them mad, boy. Don't bid right.
I remember the incident with great granddad. I mean, I was little, so I only called it. Y'all kept me kind of away from what happened. But I remember great granddad went out in the backyard and they told him not to play with granddad's dog, Snoop, or only their dog, Snoopy. And Snoopy got a hold up.
So what happened was, this is how they bypassed the dogs. They will always have some food for them. Whenever they went out in the backyard by themselves, they will always have a chicken bone or chicken or something like that. And so whenever they pass by the dogs or whatever, they give them food. You can have food no matter where you went by. So granddad, I don't know what happened that day, but yeah, he decided to go outside, mess with a dog that I didn't even mess with. And he decided he wanted to go out there, I don't know, to turn the food over in the grill. I don't know what he went out there for. But he ain't had no food in his hand. So I guess the dog got mad and bit him. You know.
He lost the kneecap that day, didn't he? Something.
I don't know. He bit him real bad. He bit him real bad. I know. Of course, my grandfather didn't want to go to the hospital, but yeah.
So, what you remember about great grandma?
Oh man, we had the best times. With grandma, grandma started going for dialysis, and she went for 10 years. And we would take turns and pay for her to go back and forth to the doctors or whatever the case may be. I mean, not to the doctors, but to dialysis. So each one of us in the family would have to make sure that grandma had her money, and it had to be correct change. Don't bring nothing over if it was not direct change. And grandma used to have these parties, these card parties with her friends. And she would tell each one of us what to bring over for the card games, right? For the card parties. Grandma's card parties would last all night long. But she would tell you, okay, did you bring what I tell you? Yeah, grandma, here it is. Okay, see ya, bye. Talk to y'all later. All right, y'all brought your food, bye. I had the best times with my grandmother, I really did. She was always ready to travel. I remember the first time she went on a cruise. She was talking about how many bathing suits she had to have and how many outfits she had to have, because you can't wear the same bathing suit every day. You gotta change up while you're on a cruise. And going shopping, we gave her a surprise 80th. I think it was her 80th birthday party. And I remember taking my grandmother shopping for her outfit. I don't know why. I forgot what I told her we needed the outfit for. We went to Hat Company. And so I picked out this outfit for my grandmother to wear. And I said, Grandma, don't you like this outfit? She said, that outfit look like it's for old people. And I said, well, Grandma, you are old. She said, but I ain't that old. I said, okay. So I said, okay, Grandma, whatever you pick out, that's what we buy. So she picked out this outfit. I mean, it was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous outfit. And my grandmother was bad that day. I mean, she was dressed to kill. And just going to the pictures, I was trying to find that picture that she had, that suit that she had on, but she was bad that day. She had the best time. She was surprised. All her friends showed up. And this is the funny part. And Grandma was 80 and all her friends was old at the time. And I used to kid about how her friends came in with their walkers on and how they got out on the floor, was dancing with the walkers. And look at me now, here I'm old, and I see some of my mother's friends get out in the walker, and I said, Lord have mercy. I see some of my friends get out there and dance with their walker, just to show you how things just transpire over time. So I did. I had a lot. Grandma traveled with us quite a bit of times. We had the best of time. Oh man, talks. Don't mess with her wrestling and rollerblading.
I came over there one time. She had her wrestling on. She was like, be quiet. I said,
oh yeah.
And then she had wrestling on, so I just sat right there and watched wrestling with her.
Yeah, she was into wrestling. And she was into, is it rollerblading?
I think it was rollerblading.
Where, you know, you whip them and stuff. Don't talk to her then either. Those 2 times when those came on TV, you better not talk. Don't open your mouth. You just as well disappear because she ain't gonna pay you no attention. Because she gonna tell you to shut up real fast. Real fast. My grandmother worked for a long time. And one time she said, oh, I need this blouse wash. And I said, oh, well, you know, we can take it to the laundromat. We wash the clothes away. She said, no, we'll wash it by hand. But when my grandmother washed something and she wrung it, it was like it had been in a wash machine. I mean, it was like no water coming out. It was just like, it was, when she hung it up, it was like it was almost dry to me. And I said, I don't know how you did it. I don't think I had those kind of hands to wring something like that. But I guess it's just the way it was back then.
Well, she did a lot of cleaning back in the day, right? Her job in the government was cleaning and stuff like that.
I don't remember. I don't know if my grandmother was a housekeeper. I really don't. I really don't know, and I say it, I really don't know what my grandmother did.
Probably living your life when you're young, so
yeah.
Just out there having fun. You wouldn't worry about how she make her money.
I know that they worked. I did know my grandparents did work. I do know when they retired. I think granddaddy retired first and then grandma. But to tell you the truth, I don't. I think for some kind of reason, I think she worked in a factory or something. Because I remember her saying one time they used to have to go down in the drums, and the mice and rats would jump out, and you couldn't do nothing. You just had to. If you wanted to pay, you had to deal with it. Me, I'm sorry, fire me. I guess I wasn't hungry enough or something. I don't know. No, I couldn't work in that type of environment. But you know, back then you did what you did, and you had to do what you had to do as a black person. Growing up, you couldn't shop where you wanted to shop at. You had to shop what the black shopped at. I remember going downtown and looking at the windows. You can always look at the windows. I know there was always a Landsberg. There was Cans. And Hans Shoes is where we bought our shoes at. That was the best. That was the best place to shop at. And Hacks. Yeah, and Hat Company.
There was one on New York Avenue. That's the one y'all used to go to.
No, we used to go downtown with 7th Street. 7th and F Street. That's where we shopped at.